Okay guys, up here we have the search box that we can use to look up the items that we want. For example, I'm going to close down all of these, collapse all. Then I'm going to search for levels. Alright, here we go. We got a list here containing any items that is related to levels. Or, for example, triangle. Okay. Guys, there's another way for searching for the items and elements and, for example, views that we want inside our project browser. First off, we need to enter a view or a section or something. And then we need to select an element here like, say this one. Now right click. Then in here, select Find in Project Browser. And it'll be highlighted inside the project browser. And again, guys, remember, you can use this method when you're working in a plan, view, or a section. I mean, don't get me wrong, you can use this method in other areas, like, for example, when you're working with sheets. See, Find in Project Browser. Here we go. You can also use this method when you are working with legends, different types of families, like nested families, different groups, assembly view sheets, Revit links, or view references, or even the schedules that you would set inside the sheets. And yeah, in such cases, you can easily use this method for finding the elements that you want in your project browser. Also, guys, when it comes to working with the views that are set inside the sheets, in the project browser, you would find a checkbox before them or behind them. Now we can do a right click, and then in this list, we would find Show Placements on Sheet. If we deactivate this, all of these checkboxes would disappear. And obviously, we can click on it again to set them back. And also, guys, if your view is set inside of a sheet, you would be able to do a right-click, select Open Sheet, and move directly to the sheet itself. And obviously, if your view wasn't set inside of a sheet, this item would be deactivated. Now, guys, we can actually do the same thing, the exact same thing, in the project browser as well. See? Open Sheet. Right-click again, close. These items, these techniques, guys, could help you add a lot more pace to your work. And by the way, guys, when we do a right click on any of these views, this list or this menu would be open for us. Now here first, we can open up the view, then we can open up the sheet. We talked about this. We also talked about close as well. Let's talk about this item. Find referring views. It is quite interesting. Alright guys, let's say currently we are working in our second level and we want to find out where else in our project we would be able to see our second level's annotation or symbol. So do a right click and select Find Referring Views. Now this tab says that you would be able to see the symbol in these two views. Let's open up this. Now if I zoom in, I would be able to check my second level symbol. Yeah. Or as another example, let's change the view. Maybe a detail view this time. Maybe this one. Now, we can do it directly from here or in the project browser. Find referring views. Now let's see. Okay, the tab says that you would be able to see this in 8 other views. Let's enter one of them. This one is called Floor Plan Something Dimensions. Again, if I zoom in, I would find this here, the section. Right guys, moving on. The next item that we have here is called Apply Template Properties. You know what, we talked about templates before. We actually discussed creating views as well. We talked about move align to sheets when we were discussing the sheets. Remove from sheets. Well, it's not that complicated. You can just use it to remove the views from the sheets. Alright, Control Z. Now, next we have duplicate and its sub-items. We talked about this before quite completely. Convert to independent view and apply dependent view are again related to the duplicates. We said that they would be activated whenever we actually have a duplicated dependent view. Again, we talked about these before. Now, for example, let's convert this into an independent view. And yeah, here we go. That would be it. And guys, as for the remaining items, well, I guess it is quite obvious what they do. I mean, these are quite basic. Like, we all know what delete does for us. So, for example, rename and basically other general items.